Joining me now via Skype to discuss this development and much more, I have the co-founder of Budget, Joseph Agumbiade. Good to have you on the breakfast show this morning, Joseph.
Thank you, Damilola. My pleasure.
Now let's start off with the back and forth we've seen with regards to telecom operators in the country and banks over the 42 billion naira debt that we've had. We've had interventions from the Ministry of Communication as well as the CBN governor, but a truce somewhat has not finally been reached in the sense that we're still having certain shocks like what we saw play out on Thursday night. What do you make of all of this development so far?
I mean, it's very clear that what we're seeing here is it's a mixture of different things. These are a series of events that has been happening since way back 2019. So when MTN decided to start billing for USSD, charging extra fee when customers use their platform. And of course, the truth of the matter is, whenever you have to do such a cost where you are using a third-party platform, for MTN to do, they are using the bank's platform.
Exactly.
For billing and all that. It comes at a cost to both sides. And you would recall that the banks are already going through usual customer complaint of SMS billing and other billing that they bill them already. So if the telco wants the bank to bill extra just on their behalf, it's a business risk to the banks. And so what I must say is that the banks themselves have to protect themselves, which is basically the basis upon which we are seeing this fight. If it was nothing to the bank, I believe we will not see this happening. So it's largely a game of, everyone trying to be profitable, trying to look good before their customers and all of that. So I think that's where I look at the challenge. It's more of, trying to look good, trying to ensure that you don't get caught in between trying to please your B2B customer, which is now the telco to the banks. So and then when you look at the payout of policies also, our policy sometimes can be very shaky. And when policymakers make policies, and when the policy is now announced by whoever it is, that will be the stakeholder that is impacted, and they suddenly withdraw, most of the time, or they deny and pretend as if they are not the one who made such policy. Those things have always set us back when it comes to decisions like this. So for me, it's a mixture of different things happening. And I just hope that we're able to find a quick solution. I don't want to judge, but I think we need to find a quick solution to this thing.
We have to definitely find a solution to this issue because it's lingering for quite a longer time, and at the end of the day, we have customers having to bear the brunt of the back and forth so far. But now let's take a look at one of the announcements that was made as part of the resolutions reached in terms of the agreement the Central Bank of Nigeria governor had with the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy as well as some telecom operators. Is the announcement of the 6 naira 98 kobo service charge on all USSD transactions. Now, this replaces the per session billing structure. It is expected to save money, but how do you think this would also play out in the pockets of the average Nigerian with this fee now being announced?
So the first thing is, I think there's an education bit of it where the citizens need to understand that everything costs money. I doubt it if 6 naira 98 kobo will pay the telcos in any way, because I'm a technology person and I've built USSD apps before. The USSD service itself is billed per session. And you will notice that initially when they pegged session billing at 4 naira 98 kobo, the NCC also suggested that each session should not exceed 20 seconds. Those things, it's not completely a policy decision. It has to also be a business decision. So if you say a transaction should be at 6 naira 98 kobo, what it means is that a typical transaction, you would type in the code of what you want to buy, you select the product, you do like 3 to 4 steps. So if a session is at 4 naira 98 kobo, and you are suddenly saying that irrespective of the number of steps that is involved in carrying out a transaction, just wrap everything up to 6 naira 98 kobo. I doubt it if this is going to work out ultimately. it looks good. It looks good to the citizens and everything, but there's a cost to the telcos who are going to, be providing these services. When sections are engaged, it's like using a server. It's like hosting a service where if you have more customers on a server, there's a cost, which it means that you have to add more RAM, add more hard drive, more bandwidth of internet and all that. When people are engaging your platform, those costs, the MTN cannot take it away, or the telcos cannot take away those costs. They are fixed. So ultimately, I love the fact that by the 6th of April, a few days' time, they will still be sitting down again. The banks and telcos will be talking about finding a lasting solution. But as of now, I don't think 6 naira 98 kobo is going to work. The per transaction billing, I doubt it's going to work.
Well, we'll continue to keep our fingers crossed and just hope that a proper resolution is reached. We need a win-win solution. If not, USSD, as we know it, is one of the biggest change makers in our time as we're looking at financial inclusion, will be hampered, and we don't necessarily want that. Customers cannot continue to have to face such inconveniences. Thank you very much for your time on The Breakfast Show this morning, Joseph Akubiade. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Damilola. Have a great day.